St. James North.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sir. That's the colloquial name for it, Morgans. And it's all one family. I mean, in districts such as these, everyone is related to each other in some form or fashion. Everyone knows each other. That's how it is in these parts of Barbados. And of course, this resolution here before Parliament is essentially to facilitate the housing development, 160 houses, by giving provision for some additional road access to the houses. We've heard a lot, sir, about the thrust of this administration to deal with what I described last week as one of the three major challenges facing our people in this country: the acquisition of houses, the acquisition of owning your own home, being able to turn your own key in your own lock. Sir, this is essential to the development of Barbados and to the socio-economic development of our people. This administration has embarked on a tremendous challenge and objective to house the people of Barbados. 10,000 homes in 5 years, sir. No small challenge, but it will be achieved. And the reality of the situation is that the Barbados Labour Party government has been at the forefront, has been the political party that has led the development of housing in this country from the 1950s with the advent of housing developments, sir. My constituency doesn't have any housing areas, but we know of the history of housing developments from the 1950s. And then, of course, 40 years ago, with the enactment in this Parliament, sir, of the Tenantries Freehold Purchase Act, which was a quiet social revolution in terms of housing development in this country, starting, of course, with houses being compelled to be sold in tenantries at 10 cents a square foot, starting in rural areas, sir. And then, of course, facility for urban development in tenantries with the sale at the maximum of $2.50 a square foot by the tenant, with the government paying for the balance. If it was $8 a square foot, the government would pay $5.50 a square foot, up to 5,000 square feet of land, sir. And this, as I said, quiet social revolutionary policy would have empowered almost 10,000 persons to be homeowners, sir, in this country. When you multiply 10,000 by an average of 4, even 3, say, if you want to say, that is 30, 40,000 people brought into home ownership in this country by the act of this Parliament under a Barbados Labour Party administration led by the late Right Honourable Tom Adams, sir. And of course, once you own a house, once you acquire title deeds and papers, as the old people call it, to a house, you can then do anything with that property, sir, mortgage it, and the properties that would have been acquired through the tenantries freehold purchase act 40 years ago are unrecognizable now, sir, because they've been added on. People go and borrow money, bill on a room, a bathroom, garage, sir. You could take your papers to the bank and put them as security for your child's education overseas if you want, or if something happens to your mother or your child and you need some money for some medical expenses, all of that is collateral. So that is the importance of home ownership. And it is so important to the development and the empowerment and enfranchisement of our democracy and of our people, sir, especially people who have historically come out of slavery, sir, and where, as we know, there was a correlation which could not be broken between the slave and the plantation land. And as you leave or seek to leave the plantation, working on the plantation, you had to move your house off of the land. And all of that, the Barbados Labour Party changed, as we know, starting from the 50s, as I said, with housing developments, and obviously in the early 1950s under National Hero, Right Excellent Sir Grantley Herbert Adams, bringing in legislation which said that once the tenant left the work of the plantation owner could not move them off the land. And then, of course, coming up from there, we had the last Barbados Labour Party administration under the late Right Honourable Owen Officer, which facilitated a lot of acquisition of homes as well, so in terms of 100% mortgages through the Barbados Finance Mortgage Company Limited, sir, which would have been tied, obviously, to government as well. And that would have been the start, of course, of 100% mortgages. In other words, sir, where you didn't require a deposit, as you know, sir, you're an attorney, experienced attorney at law. You didn't need a deposit to pay down any 10% on any house, because you were able to borrow that 10% as well from the mortgage company. And again, that facilitated many, many persons to become homeowners. So this is another step, sir, under, again, another Barbados Labour Party administration to democratize a property ownership class, a new property ownership class in this country. And of course, this is against the background, of course, of I don't believe that the last government, and I want to be fair, sir, that the last Democratic Labour Party government built 25 houses between 2013 and 2018. In fact, I remember telling the then Minister of Housing, Member of Parliament, former Member of Parliament for St. Lucie, sir, thankfully of bygone days, that they hadn't built 25 houses, and he shouted across. He used to sit down out there, sir. I was a bit up here, and he said, that is true, that is true. He agreed with me. And so I like to be fair, sir. Had not built 25 houses in the 5 years, 3 months that they were in office, sir. So we're coming from way behind in this event. But sir, I just want to speak on two aspects of the housing policy too, sir. The commitment in the Barbados Labour Party manifesto to grant first-time home owners $3,000, first-time home owners under 35 years old, $3,000, which could be utilized either for the down payment on land or house, for a mortgage payment, mortgage installment, loan repayment, or for the legal fees. And even though we have not yet brought to Parliament that covenant, sir, and of course, our manifesto is a covenant between us and the people of Barbados. Effectively, that provision has come into force in this area for government, for these houses, by Hope Inc., because Hope Inc. will be consuming the legal fees. The legal fees for these properties by those who purchase these properties will not be added on to the purchase price. Hope Inc. is including the legal fee in the purchase price, sir. And the legal fees, as you know, sir, amount to more than $3,000, sir. Depending on the value, certainly at the lowest value, the lowest value, the 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, which I think is being sold around $172,000. If you were to put legal fees for that plus a mortgage, even $160,000 legal fees would come under normal course of events to more than $3,000, sir. And then, of course, you have VAT on legal fees, which again, Hope Inc. Is taking care of, sir. So, even though the promise in our manifesto has not been put into legislative effect yet, or even policy effect, by creative means, it is being done in this development with the purchaser, mortgagor, not having to bear the cost of legal fees, sir. And secondly, and so we've seen obviously the pent-up desire for persons to own homes. There is a huge market out there of people who want to acquire homes, sir. And this whole development and other developments which Hope Inc. propose to construct, and of course other developments which government will facilitate as well by other property developers, sir, is part of a property owning thrust to further democratize our people, sir. And I look forward to some of my constituents living in this development, because as I said, it is part of, I regard it as part of my constituency, separated by a road, sir. The reality of politics, as you know very well, sir, is that you have to find some dividing line somewhere to separate constituencies. I believe, sir, you say Michael Central, and that speaks for itself. You're in the central, so you butting and bounding, probably 4 constituencies that divided by a road, sir. But a road can't divide people and divide families and friends, and that's what it is out here in Morgan's. And obviously, sir, the issue of rent-to-own program, again, covenanted for in the Barbados Labour Party manifesto of this year, and we look forward to provision for that too, sir, whereby some people may not wish to become homeowners right away, or may not be able to for some reason or another, and to give them the opportunity in rent-to-own programs. In other words, the rent that they pay goes towards the eventual purchase of the house and the eventual acquisition of the papers. So in a way, the rent is almost like the mortgage that you would otherwise pay back to the financial institution every month. We clearly, sir, have to develop land as well, because there's also that market out there, people who just want land to put their houses on, sir. And that's another challenge which we face, and which I'm sure that we would overcome. But, sir, as I said, I can only support this resolution brought before Parliament today. So any visit to the houses, some of which are constructed already, some of which obviously are being in the process of being constructed, I believe 160 odd houses planned, and maybe some townhouses, a few townhouses as well. And the Honorable Prime Minister and my colleague who just spoke, the Honourable Member for St. Andrew, and I were there, I think it was about 3 months ago, and we went in a few of the houses, and really and truly said there's absolutely nowhere else in Barbados that you can get as good a deal for these houses cost-wise. Spacious, the windows big, roomy, the ceilings high, situated in one of the best parts of Barbados in terms of constituencies, rural Barbados, and I, of course, born in rural Barbados, but still a feeling of cosmopolitanism, sir, and the Honourable Member who just spoke before me mentioned that clearly it lends itself towards future development in terms of amenities and enterprises. There's a fast food restaurant just above, a fishing, premier fishing station there as well, sir. And no doubt this kind of development will build up also the community and enterprise. Of course, Morgan's has its own church. There's also a facility there for persons with disabilities within Morgan's on the other side in my constituency. And further up the road in Orange Hill, of course, there's a playing field, which I believe work is being done on right now with lights. There's a tennis court as well. There's primary school, St. Silas Primary School up the road. And then, of course, there's the Learning Center again for children with disabilities within walking distance as well in Orange Hill, sir. So we look forward to the full development, to the completion, rather, of this housing development, and to the completion of the numerous housing developments that this government has planned across Barbados for the people of Barbados in essential answering the call of our citizens, of our constituents, to become owners of property and houses, as is their constitutional and human right. I'm obliged to you, sir.